My name is Lena Carter, and the day my family cut me from the family photo, a quiet fury ignited within me. It was a crisp October morning in 2018, the Blue Ridge Mountains framing Asheville, North Carolina, where I grew up in a cozy craftsman home with my parents, Diane and Robert Carter, and my younger brother Ethan, 17. I was 22, a determined woman with a sharp eye for design and a passion for photography, working as a freelance graphic artist while studying marketing online. The photo was for our annual holiday card, a tradition my mother cherished, featuring the family in matching sweaters on the porch. I'd spent weeks editing test shots suggesting poses, but during the shoot, Diane pulled me aside, her voice low. "Lena, we're leaving you out this year. Your lifestyle doesn't fit." My queerness, quietly known among us, had become their excuse, Ethan smirking as they posed without me. I left, the camera heavy in my hands, tears blurring the lens. That night, alone in my rented loft, I stared at my sketchpad, an idea forming. The frame excluded me, but I built one taller, brighter, and impossible to ignore. The exclusion stung. I'd always been the odd one, my art clashing with their conservative values, my identity a silent rift. Diane's perfectionism and Robert's silence had shaped a family where conformity reigned, Ethan their golden child. I'd hoped my skills would bridge the gap, but the photo snub confirmed my exile. The pain fueled a vision. I'd rise, claim a public space, and make them see me. I doubled down on freelance work, designing logos and ads, earning $1,500 monthly by 2019. I saved $6,000, my income growing as I landed a contract with a local brewery, adding $2,000 monthly. The plan took shape. I'd buy a billboard, put my face on it, and overshadow their perfect image. The journey was grueling. I balanced work and study, sleeping 4 hours a night, my hands smudged with charcoal from late-night sketches. I earned a marketing degree in 2020, landing a junior ad exec role at Blue Ridge Media, earning $3,500 monthly. My savings hit $15,000, but the billboard market in Asheville was competitive, prime spots costing $50,000 annually. I researched, targeting a high-traffic site across from our family home on Marymount Avenue, negotiating with a leasing company for a $40,000 deal. The pain twisted into a strategy. I'd fund it, design it, and force their gaze. I invested $3,000 in ad design software, my resolve hardening. Planning my revenge took creativity. I worked 50-hour weeks, pitching campaigns at Blue Ridge, earning a $4,000 bonus by 2021. My savings grew to $20,000 and I invested $5,000 in a side venture, Carter Creative, selling digital art prints, projecting $8,000 returns. I secured the billboard lease in July 2022, using $15,000 and a $25,000 loan, my savings dropping to $10,000. I designed the ad myself, a bold portrait of me in a vibrant jacket, the tagline Lena Carter, unframed and unstoppable, hiring a local printer for $3,000. The billboard went live on September 1, 2022, its 20 by 60 foot glow visible from my parents' porch. Doubts crept in. Would they retaliate? Would the town embrace it? I pushed forward, monitoring reactions online. The confrontation was inevitable. I invited Diane, Robert, and Ethan to a family dinner at a neutral restaurant on September 5, 2022, my heart pounding. They arrived, their faces tense, Ethan avoiding my eyes. I showed them a live feed of the billboard, its lights casting my image across the street. "You cut me out," I said, my voice steady. "Now I'm the view you can't escape." Diane paled, Robert stammered, Ethan muttered excuses, but I left, the dinner uneaten, their shock a silent victory. The billboard drew attention. Local news ran a story, local artist claimed spotlight, boosting Carter Creative sales to $3,000 monthly. The shift was electrifying. The billboard's ad space sold out, earning $5,000 monthly, my savings climbing to $15,000. I expanded Carter Creative, securing a $6,000 contract with a tourism board for promotional art, my valuation hitting $30,000. Diane called, her tone icy, demanding I remove it, but I refused, their discomfort a badge of honor. Robert sent letters, unopened, piling in a box. My focus turned to growth, launching a Visible Voices campaign to support marginalized artists, booking $2,000 in gigs. But trouble brewed. A rival ad firm, Peak Promotions, began undercutting my rates, their CEO Paul Hayes mocking my billboard as gimmicky. I uncovered his sabotage, spreading false client reviews, costing me a $2,000 deal. My phone buzzed with an unknown number. Nice frame. Keep quiet. I froze. Who was this? Oh, a family ally? The triumph felt fragile, a new threat emerging. I fortified my stance. I hired a lawyer, Emily Tran, spending $1,500 and gathered evidence against Paul. Review logs, competitor complaints. Carter Creative gained 3 clients, adding $3,000 monthly, my valuation rising to $40,000. I upgraded the billboard's security, adding $1,200 in cameras. My savings stabilized at $17,000, but the message loomed. A break-in attempt triggered the cameras. 2 figures fled, leaving a slashed print of the family photo. The police logged it, but leads were thin. I called Emily, who warned of corporate rivalry or personal grudges. My heart raced. Was this Paul's doing or tied to my family? The standoff grew. I presented evidence to a local ad council, exposing Paul's tactics, securing his suspension from a key network. The billboard income rose to $6,000 monthly, my financial footing strengthening. But the unknown number texted again, "You can't outshine us." A photo followed, the billboard defaced with red paint. I shuddered. Who were they? Paul's crew? A vengeful relative? Standing in my loft, the original family photo in hand, I felt their exclusion, and a chilling uncertainty. What was coming? The defaced billboard on Marymount Avenue and the ominous text, "You can't outshine us," haunted me as I stood in my Asheville loft, the glow of the Blue Ridge Mountains fading into the evening haze. The triumph of erecting my 20x60-foot portrait, overturning my family's exclusion with Lena Carter, unframed and unstoppable, felt like a distant victory against this new shadow. My hands trembled as I studied the photo on my phone, the red paint streaking my face, the unknown sender's warning a stark contrast to the recognition I'd earned. Who were they? Paul Hayes from Peak Promotions? A family member with a grudge? My heart raced, but I steadied myself. The billboard earned $6,000 monthly, my savings at $17,000, and Carter Creative thrived with $3,000 monthly from clients. Yet that chilling message hinted at a deeper threat. I saved the photo, determined to trace its origin, and called my lawyer, Emily Tran, her voice a calming presence. "Tighten security," I said. "This feels targeted." She agreed, promising to escalate. The next morning, I met Emily at a discreet cafe in downtown Asheville, the scent of roasted coffee blending with my unease. Her keen eyes scanned the photo and the slashed family print from the break-in. "This is deliberate sabotage," she said, her pen tapping the table. "File a police upgrade and hire a PI. Keep your success low-key for now." I nodded, my mind racing. The police elevated the case to a vandalism investigation, assigning Detective Harper, a methodical officer with a quiet intensity. I hired a private investigator, Jamal Reed, a former ad industry enforcer, costing $3,000 and dipping my savings to $14,000. At Carter Creative, I briefed my team, 2 designers, a marketer. In the studio, the air thick with tension. "We're under attack," I explained, showing the evidence. Their faces hardened, but they pledged support. My firm's valuation hit $45,000, but danger loomed over every design. My career soared. I expanded Carter Creative, securing a $8,000 contract with a regional festival for branding, and invested $4,000 in a print-on-demand platform, projecting $12,000 returns. My savings climbed to $16,000, and I upgraded my loft with a design workspace, its walls lined with my art, working 15-hour days to meet demand. Diane called again, her tone sharp, demanding I remove the billboard, but I hung up, their disapproval a fuel. Robert sent a letter, unopened, joining the stack in a corner. Jamal's initial report unsettled me. Paul had been seen near the billboard site, and his firm's recent losses to my buzz stoked his rivalry. "He might have hired locals," Jamal said. "But the family photo suggests a personal angle, possibly Ethan." The unknown they flashed in my mind, a riddle I couldn't decode. The threat escalated a week later. A package arrived at my studio, shattered camera lens, a note, dim your light or break. No shunned. My stomach tightened. I called Emily, who advised a restraining order against Paul and enhanced security. I installed motion sensors costing $2,000 and hired a night guard, a wiry man named Carlos. The police analyzed the note, glove marks inconclusive, while Jamal traced the delivery to a drop-off near Paul's office, but the courier claimed cash, the trail ending. Paranoia crept in, every shadow a potential threat, yet I refused to back down. I capitalized on the billboard's fame, launching a visible art exhibition series that booked $5,000, adding to my income. Paul contacted me, calling from a blocked number, his voice bitter. "Lena, you've tanked my business," he growled. "This isn't over." I hung up, but curiosity gnawed. Jamal dug deeper, uncovering Paul's ties to a disgruntled client, a local gallery owner, Maria Delgado, who'd lost a contract to me. "They might be colluding," Jamal warned. I confronted Paul at a neutral park, my guard Carlos nearby. "Call off your people," I demanded. He smirked. "You think this is just me? You've crossed lines." I left, his words a warning, but Maria's involvement hinted at a broader vendetta. I mounted a counteroffensive. With Emily's guidance, I sued Paul for harassment and vandalism, using the note, Jamal's findings, and police logs. The case was precarious, but it pressured his allies. I boosted Carter Creative, securing a $10,000 contract with a hotel chain for a rebranding campaign, pushing my valuation to $60,000. The hotel's security monitored my studio, easing my nerves. But the pressure mounted. A break-in attempt triggered the sensors. 3 figures fled, leaving a burned sketchbook and a Maria business card. The police linked it to the gallery, but evidence was thin. I called Emily, who suggested a family corporate conspiracy, given my exclusion. The lawsuit hearing approached. I gathered evidence, Jamal's reports, the note, Paul's threat, and footage. Working late to compile it, my studio lit by a desk lamp. Maria's lawyer offered a $7,000 settlement with silence. "Drop it," he pressed over a tense call. "No," I told Emily. "I want them exposed." The day arrived, a crowded courtroom in Asheville. Paul grinned as I testified, recounting the photo snub, the billboard rise, his sabotage. My voice steadied as I presented the lens shards. The judge frowned, ordering Paul to respond. Jamal's testimony, linking Maria to the card, swayed the court. The judge issued a restraining order, fined Paul $12,000, and ordered $3,000 restitution, a partial win. As I left, Paul muttered, "They'll finish you." That night my phone buzzed again, same unknown number. "You delayed us. The cost is steep." A photo followed. The billboard, a bullet hole through my face. I froze. Who were they? Maria's network? Family plot? The victory felt fragile, a new enemy emerging. I called Jamal, who promised intensified surveillance. My empire was growing, but the fight wasn't over. The bullet hole through my billboard face and the menacing text, "You delayed us. The cost is steep," haunted me as I stood in my Asheville loft, the Blue Ridge Mountains a silent witness to the tension outside. The triumph of erecting my towering portrait, Lena Carter, unframed and unstoppable, and forcing my family to confront their exclusion felt like a fading memory against this escalating threat. My pulse thundered as I gripped my phone, the unknown sender's warning a stark contrast to the recognition I'd fought for. The police investigation into Paul Hayes' harassment had slowed, the restraining order a fragile barrier. Who were they? Maria Delgado's gallery network? A family-driven vendetta? I dialed Jamal Reed, my investigator, my voice firm despite the dread. "Find them," I said. "They're too close." He promised round-the-clock efforts, his tone grave. The victory was mine. Paul humbled, my billboard a town icon, but the fight wasn't over. The next day I met Emily Tran, my lawyer, at a secure office in Biltmore Village, the scent of cedar and coffee grounding me. Her brow furrowed as she examined the photo and burned sketchbook. "This is attempted destruction with intent," she said, her fingers tracing the bullet hole. "Push the police for a task force and prepare for a counterstrike. Your visibility is the target." I nodded, my mind racing with plans. At Carter Creative, I briefed my team, 3 designers, a sales lead, In the studio, the air thick with determination. "We're under fire," I explained, showing the evidence. Their faces sobered, but they rallied, vowing allegiance. Revenue had risen to $6,000 monthly, a testament to my firm's growth, but danger shadowed every campaign. I spent $5,500 on bulletproof glass for the billboard and hired a second guard, reducing my savings to $10,500. Security became my shield. Jamal's first update came that evening. He tailed Maria to a meeting with a local art syndicate, the Asheville Collective, led by a cunning figure, Victor Lang, known for blacklisting independents. "They're furious," Jamal said. "Your billboard stole their spotlight and clients." I passed it to Emily, who subpoenaed Victor's financials. Meanwhile, I dove into work, launching a Framed Freedom art contest, booking $9,000 and earning $5,000. My savings rose to $13,000, Carter Creative's valuation reaching $75,000. Diane and Robert called, frantic about town gossip, but I hung up, their concern a burden. The threat cast a pall over my success. A second note arrived days later. Melted film strips with "Last Chance" scrawled in black slid under my door. "No prints." The police upgraded the case to an organized crime probe, assigning a detective team, but progress was sluggish. I called Emily, who suggested a public expose to pressure the collective, rallying community support. I agreed, drafting a statement with her. "From photo exile to public icon, I face an art cartel's wrath. I won't fade." The press conference held beneath the billboard drew 120 reporters. My voice trembled as I held up the strips, but I stood tall. The story broke. "Artist defies art syndicate," boosting my bookings to $10,000 monthly, though the risk intensified. Jamal's next report unveiled the depth. He'd traced the unknown number to a burner phone bought near Victor's gallery, tying it to the collective's leadership. "Your family tipped them off," Jamal said. "Diane feared your success would shame them." I shivered, the stakes soaring. Emily filed for an emergency injunction to freeze the collective's accounts, stalling their funds. I fortified the studio, adding $4,000 in alarms and a third guard. My savings dipped to $9,000, but the team's morale held. I trained them in crisis protocols, turning the space into a stronghold. The vandalism probe gained momentum. Emily uncovered emails. Victor ordering Maria to deface my work, costing me $4,000 in repairs. I reported it to the police, who raided a collective warehouse, seizing art and records. Finn called, nervous. "Lena, Mom and Dad are scared. Fix this." I hung up, his plea await. Robert texted, begging a meeting. I met him at a neutral park, recording his confession. "Victor pressured us to exclude you for his gain." I passed the tape to Emily, adding coercion charges. The police widened the net, targeting Victor. The courtroom showdown loomed. I testified, detailing the photo snub, the billboard rise, Robert's admission. Maria's lawyer painted me as reckless, but the police evidence, emails, call logs, vandalism intent, prevailed. The judge issued a permanent restraining order, fined Maria $60,000, and ordered $25,000 restitution. Paul got probation. Victor faced a probe. As I left, Victor in the gallery hissed, "You'll regret this." The collective's influence dipped, losing 35% of clients. Victory reshaped my world. My savings hit $35,000 with new contracts. $12,000 monthly from the contest, $7,000 from a corporate campaign. Carter Creative's valuation soared to $120,000. I moved to a Mountain View condo, its deck a sanctuary after months of struggle. I hosted a team celebration, toasting with craft beer under string lights. But the peace shattered when a package arrived, unsealed, no sender. The bullet photo, a new note, "You're marked. Speak and vanish." No signature. My blood ran cold. Jamal traced it to a dead-end account. The police suspected Victor's elite, but proof was elusive. I hired a security firm, spending $6,000 to protect my assets. The threat persisted. A car tailed me one night, peeling off when guards intervened. My email was hacked, a video file, a masked figure saying, "Your view ends." The police formed a task force, but leads lagged. I channeled fear into my firm, launching a unframed gallery online platform, sold out for $15,000, turning adversity into profit. The corporate contract grew to $8,000 monthly. I planned a book, cut to crown, and a scholarship for excluded artists, working late to outline it. Yet the enemy's leader eluded me. One afternoon, reviewing footage, a figure lingered near the condo, too blurred to identify. Jamal enhanced it, suggesting a man, possibly Victor's enforcer. The police interviewed me for 6 hours, mapping collective ties, but the mastermind remained a ghost. I added $5,000 in motion sensors. My savings stabilized at $40,000, but the vigilance cost weighed heavily. Standing on my deck, the mountains aglow, I felt a bittersweet win. My family was sidelined, Maria broken, but the we in those notes loomed. Was it Victor's elite? A family traitor? I sipped wine, the dusk settling, but that marked photo's shadow lingered. Who was next? Only time would tell. Hey Revenge Tempest fans. Lena's journey from exclusion to icon is unforgettable. Loved it? Smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from.